may we have our next team of challengers, please?
What is your name, please?
My name is Alan Freed.
What is your name, please?
My name is Alan Freed.
What is your name, please?
My name is Alan Freed.
Now, panel, will you listen while I read this affidavit, a copy of which you find in front of you? I, Alan Freed, am married and the father of 4 children. My first job was as a disc jockey playing classical music on a small-town radio station. But I am better known these days as the king of rock and roll. I created the phrase rock and roll in 1951 and was the first disc jockey to exploit the music under that name. I have played the part of myself in 3 motion pictures, and I'm glad to say that the crowds at our recent opening at the Paramount Theater in New York broke both the police lines and the single-day attendance record. I swear that the above statement is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Signed, Alan Freed. Now, we'll begin our questioning in just 60 seconds.
They're unscripted and unpredictable.
Is this thing working?
On Celebrities Inc.
That's 14getmoney.com. 14getmoney.com.
All right, time once again to play the game. These 3 people, panel, remember, all claim to be Alan Freed, the king of rock and roll. Remember once again, please, that only the real Alan Freed is required to answer your questions truthfully. Again, you'll each question till you hear the signal, and at the end of the questioning period, you'll be required to register your vote. This time, let's start with Kitty Carlisle. Kitty?
Number 1, what caused you to name rock and roll music rock and roll? Was it something onomatopoeic about it? Did it sound like rock and roll, or what was it?
Well, just sort of came to me. Back about 4 years ago when rock and roll really started to come into itself. I kind of felt the beat and the rock and the roll of it. I coined it, stuck, the kids liked it.
Number 2, could you tell me what actual physical damage was caused to the Paramount Theater on that famous opening day?
Well, I believe the total physical damage was about 30 theater seats.
Is that all?
That's all.
The box office wasn't damaged?
I think the box office was damaged from the crush outside.
Hi, Gardner.
Well, number 1, you were once a classical music disc jockey. How would you pronounce the name T-C-H-A...
Tchaikovsky?
Yes. Thank you. Number 1, what is the name of the manager of the New York Paramount?
Oh, Bob.
Number 3, what is the name of Frank Sinatra's father?
His name is Mr. Sinatra.
Number 1, do you know his first name?
His first name?
Frank Sinatra's father?
Never come to my attention.
Number 3, where did Colonel Tom Parker, Elvis Presley's manager, get his commission? What branch of the Army?
In the Army.
Number 1?
Polly Bergen.
Number 3, could you tell me the Platters' first big record?
The Platters' big record now?
No, their first one.
I'm sorry.
Number 1, could you tell me the Platters' first big record?
Tender Love.
Number 2, could you tell me the Platters' first big record?
Only You.
That isn't the one I remember. Number 1, don't you feel a little guilty sometimes?
About what?
About bringing about this whole terrible thing.
Well, I dare say if you ask the originators of Charleston, the Black Bottom, something like that, it might be just as pointed a question.
None of us goes back that far.
No, I don't know
Ralph Bellamy.
about that.
Number 3, you say you've made 3 pictures.
That's right.
What were the pictures?
First one was Rock Around the Clock.
What studio did you make that picture?
Columbia.
Columbia. What's the address of Columbia Studio?
Well, the studio where we worked was Sunset and Gower.
Uh-huh. Who's the director?
Director, Joe Levin.
Uh-huh. Number 1. What was the second picture?
Rock, Rock, Rock.
And who directed it?
Joe Teig.
What studio?
Columbia.
Same place.
Same place.
Number 3, what was the third picture?
Third picture was the one that broke all the records at the Paramount and still breaking them all over the world now.
Uh-huh.
Namely, Don't Knock the Rock.
I didn't ask for a plug. I just asked
Kitty Carlisle.
Number 3, what are your children's ages?
Well, I have one that's 11. You said number 3, didn't you?
Yes, I'm sorry, yes.
Ronnie's 11, Danny's 9, Carol's 3, and Barbara's 1.5.
And with that, our time has run out, panel. I'm sorry to say, but it is time now to please mark your ballots with no consultation and select, once again, either number 1, number 2, or number 3. May I have the ballots, please?
Did I get the right one? I guess so.
All right, first we have here Polly Bergen's ballot as usual, and this time she votes for number 1. What's your reason on that, Polly?
I hate that dirty laugh in the audience. Well, I have a feeling I'm wrong now, but I voted for number 1 because he knew that Bob Shapiro was the manager of the Paramount Theater.
Ralph Bellamy selected number 2. Your reason, Ralph?
I haven't got a very strong one. It's just a sort of an impulse, I'm afraid.
Kitty Carlisle has selected also number 2. Why, Kitty?
Well, I felt that number 2 looked like the only one that had enough stamina to have 4 children.
Clyde Gardner voted for number 3. Hi, why?
Well, because I think he looks unhealthy enough to be a disc jockey. Very pale.
All right, the votes are in. Our minds are made up. I don't know whether yours are or not, but we'll find out how close you were. We'll find out right now which of these gentlemen is the king of rock and roll. Will the real Alan Freed please stand? Thank you very much, Alan.
I think Ralph should remember me because he opened the door for my wife for a taxi cab about 10 years ago here in New York on a rainy night. And
certainly should remember that.
Very much.
All right, number 1, tell us who you really are.
My name is Lou Zeidler. I'm an insurance broker, and I specialize in insuring television shows. This insurance covers these shows against fraudulent and libelous statements.
And number 3, your name and occupation, please.
My name's Charles Dodsley Walker, and I'm organist and choir master of the Church of the Heavenly Rest on 5th Avenue at 90th Street.
All right, let's see how we stand. There were 2 incorrect votes worth $250 each, which means a total of $500 from Geritol for our team of challengers. Divide it, enjoy it. Thank you, gentlemen. Good night and good luck. Now may we have our next team.